we should be more on social media? I know it's a double-edged sword, but to spread more knowledge, to talk more, whether it's writing videos, whatever it is, do you think Muslims should be more active on social media, or should we completely avoid that double-edged sword and just like, that's not about? Because honestly, I think there's way more benefit, but then we can talk about the negatives as well. So what do you think?
Question is regarding social media. When it comes to seeking knowledge and spreading knowledge and teaching and giving dawah, calling to the sunnah, should we be more active on social media or not? There's a double-edged sword, there's a good, there's bad, there's a benefit, etc. If I said that we shouldn't be more active on social media, we should totally avoid social media, if we should protect ourselves before trying to get a benefit, I'll be a total hypocrite. I'll be a total hypocrite. May Allah protect me and forgive me for my hypocrisy of preaching things that I don't necessarily practice. And I sincerely mean that. Things that I don't do myself. As his brother said, he talk about zuhd, but you got no rollie. And as FYI, when you make a dawah trip, a part of the dawah trip is your entourage and your friends roasting you. That's a part of it. That's a part of traveling. And if your brother can't roast you and take a stab at you and make a joke, then he's not a true what? He's not a true brother, true companion. Everyone understand this? So they refute me all the time. They say, Mufti, you talk about zuhd, but how many iPads do you have? And this, and your shoes, and that, and mashallah, every time we see you, it's a new thing that you're wearing in the video. So there's always double standard. We say certain things, but doing it is what? Oftentimes not equal. So I would be a total hypocrite if I said we shouldn't, because I'm on what? Social media. As we speak on social media. And we have thousands and thousands of videos and interactions on several different platforms on what? Social media. So I don't think that's correct. But I will say this. Everyone should not be seriously involved in social media. Not everyone. As far as you're on Facebook or Instagram, email, WhatsApp, with your family, your friends, a few close associates, you give dawah to a few small people, alhamdulillah. There's nothing wrong with that. But every Tom, Dick, and Harry, Bakr and Zayd and Amr should not be heavily involved with dawah on social media. No. A select few. A select few of those who have knowledge, wisdom, experience, and skill. They should be heavily involved in social media. Classes, lectures, khutbahs, ebooks, audiobooks, refutations, debates, and things like this. Forums, yes, no question. But not what? Not everyone. And that's the trick of the shaitan. Because it's permissible for him to do it like this. Now it's what? Permissible for me to go head first into debating with somebody online. He posts all his khutbahs, so now I'm going to make my khutbahs. It's not the same. He's answering a question. It's not the same as what? This is a difference. So it depends on what level you're on. But there is no doubt anyone who says we should avoid social media, you shouldn't do videos, this person is not going to be, he's already been left behind. He's left behind. He's watching the clouds of dust and smoke from the caravan. He's left behind. And we all know what happens to the Muslims when they become left behind. Why is the modern world the way it is today in Malaysia and in other Muslim countries or third world countries or second, wherever, whatever the case is? Why are the Muslims so far behind? Why in Medina, when you go to buy an air conditioner and it's so hot outside, they tell you buy this one, it's from Japan, and don't get the Korean one. Buy this fan, it's from Germany. Don't buy the Chinese one. Don't buy this one. But there's never ever a Saudi air conditioning company or from Qatar or Kuwait or Syria or Lebanon or any Muslim or Arab country. Why is it? Where are the Muslim cars at? The Arab cars at? There's Yabani, there's Sini, there's Almani, there's Kada, there's Kada, there's Kada. Watch. What's the best movement that you want to have is what? And your watch it says what? Swiss. Why is this? Everything that we do of the worldly life, we're always buying and getting and purchasing from someone else. And we're always in love with this country and that country because the Muslims technologically have been what? Left what? Behind. They're way ahead. And that's because when there were certain pieces of technology that were brought forth, many Muslims were narrow-minded. It's haram, don't do it. It's bid'ah, it's sihr. No, we can't do this. It's haram to get involved in that. We should avoid it. We should stay away from it. And the non-Muslims, what did they do? They took it and they worked on it And they spend millions and millions and millions of dollars and creating it and evolving it and mastering it. And then now they dominate it. Anyone who wants to buy a sports car has to go to this country. Anyone who wants a quality watch has to buy it from this nation. Anyone who wants a good tablet and electronics, it comes from this country. Muslims have become lost and they've become stuck in the past. And if you read history, and one of the greatest lessons that you learn from the Crusades, those wars that were fought between Christendom and between the lands of Islam, between Saladin and Lionheart and this one and that one, the Crusades, is that those European crusaders, those warrior monks, they went to the lands of Jerusalem and they didn't just fight, they didn't just kill, they didn't just plunder and rape and murder, and they didn't just physically conquer. But when they were finally expelled and the Crusades were over and whatever happened, they left with a wealth of secrets and a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of technology. And they went back to France and to Germany and they went back to their European countries and they took their stolen secrets from the Muslims and the Arabs and the other nationalities and ethnicities of the Muslims and they worked on it. They developed it. They spent time and money and effort and energy while the Muslims were still fighting and scrambling over who's going to run and who's going to rule and who's going to dominate and what madhab we're going to follow and what aqidah we're going to practice after we've expelled them from our lands. And that is why we have the modern world what? Today. But if you look at the first people to make this, those who traveled, those who invented this, those who created this, oftentimes it's a Muslim. Where would the modern world be today if it wasn't for the Muslims? The number 0 comes from where? 0. Do you know where 0 comes from? Sifr. Do you know what a cipher is? Do you know how the world was changed when they invented the number 0? Who invented that number? Coffee. Who were the people who invented coffee and found the use of coffee? Weren't the Jews, wasn't Christians, weren't Buddhists, weren't Hindus. It was nothing more than Muslims. There was a time in which coffee was illegal for Christians to drink. You could not drink coffee. Coffee was a Mohammedan drink, a Muslim drink. It was prohibited in Christendom. Where would the modern world be today without that cup of Joe? Well, Abdul Qawi, where would your hospital be without coffee? Where would your surgeons be without coffee? Not tea, what? Coffee. Are you understanding this? But the point I'm trying to make is that the Muslims, when something comes, they have to jump on it in order to have a decent fighting chance to stay up. And if we take this passive, oh no, we should stay away from it and everything, then we want to be what? Totally left behind. So that's my opinion on social media, but that isn't for what? Every single Tom, Dick, and Harry. Wallahu a'lam.